It's time for the daily vlog, oh vlog, time for the daily vlog. You know what? I'm sorry. I turned on the camera. I don't have a topic. I haven't done any research. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about today for the vlog, so I just started singing. Maybe I better take a minute, figure out what I'm going to do, and then I'll come back. On a side note, I didn't meet my no soda goal today. All right, I have settled on a topic for today. It's going to be AI Slop. Now, this is a term that's new to me this week. I just heard it and I thought, what is AI Slop? What is that? And if you've never heard it before, well then I'm happy to share with you what it is. The question is it ruining the internet? Before I get into the topic of AI Slop, one of the categories that's kind of within the same category of AI Slop is misinformation. And I don't mean the kind of misinformation that we've all heard about and has been very prevalent in our news and our social medias the last several years, I guess, since about 2015, 2016. There's been a ton of very targeted misinformation to try to confuse people, to try to undermine elections and all kinds of things. So no matter which side of the fence that you are on, there's plenty of misinformation out there to go around. That's not necessarily the kind of information that I'm talking about today. However, within the category of AI Slop, there are now thousands of AI-generated, AI-driven, AI-managed websites, several of them claiming to be news websites, that just put out complete fiction. So the amount of misinformation that is out there just is snowballing every single day. And so there's a whole category around misinformation and AI slop, and as well as targeted misinformation or purposeful misinformation. I think there's kind of two categories there, the way that I would categorize it. Now, with that said, that's not really what I wanted to focus on today. The type of AI slop that I wanted to focus on is the stuff that we've been seeing all over the place. And I guess I didn't realize it had a name until just this week when I learned that there was a term for this, and it's that AI slop. And now, when I'm looking at my feeds, I see tons of this. And I would imagine if you are an avid social media user or consumer like I am, you see it as well. I think probably I do see some on TikTok, but I think the place that I see it most is Instagram. And for Instagram, it's so obvious on some of the Instagram ones. And there's not only the AI slop images, but the videos as well. And there's just, my feed is just full of it now on Instagram. And I think it might be because I've clicked on some of them, right? I'm like, oh, is that real? Is that not real? And I'm looking at something, and because now I've engaged, the algorithms behind the scenes are pushing it. However, some of the research that I did to prepare for this category, now that I knew what I was going to talk about today, and actually I've been reviewing and reading some articles and some videos this week anyway, just because it's something new that I had learned and I was interested in. So I was consuming some of that information, and now I think I've consumed enough now that I can at least share a little bit. I'm by no means am I an expert on this, but I've learned enough to understand what the term means. And we're going to get into a specific AI slop, and I think I will try to recreate one in particular. But what is happening across the internet in general is that the volume of AI slop has increased so much. And the engagement, just like I engaged on some, is out there. That what's happening is it's volume over quality or over reality. So when I ask the question, is AI slop ruining the internet? What's happening is this large volume of fake images, fake information, fake data, all AI generated, not necessarily specifically to be malevolent or to be have some evil intent behind it, right? There is misinformation that is that way, but this deluge of AI slop that I'm talking about that's happening right now, the driver behind it is really more around monetization versus misinformation or trying to deceive somebody. Where, again, there is that category, but I'm not talking about that category. Because what's happening is the AI slop has gained enough traction that not only are there people out there who are doing this as their daily living now or as a side hustle, lots and lots of people are doing it side hustle, but because it's gained popularity, there are now people out there who have courses in how to make AI slop and how to make money from AI slop. And so now you've got people making money on the courses that they're teaching on how to do this. And that snowball is just rolling and rolling and rolling, and it's only going to get larger and going to get worse. Now, one of the images I'm going to feature is this one right here today. And this is an image that popped up after the North Carolina floods that gained a lot of attention after those floods. Millions of shares and likes and boosts for this particular image. And I'm going to do a demonstration where we're actually going to try to recreate this image or something close to it to see what we can do using DALL-E, which is one of the image generators. It's available to me inside my ChatGPT application on my Mac. Now, what I first did to recreate this image is take the image and I uploaded it to ChatGPT, and I said, I want to recreate this image using DALL-E. Will you please give me the best description possible to recreate this image as close as possible? And it generated the text for me, so I didn't have to try and enter in text and then iteration after iteration after iteration, saving me some time trying to figure out exactly what the text would be for this image. Now, once I had that, I just went into DALL-E and entered in the text, and it generated the image for me. Let's go ahead and paste in the text to try to recreate this image. This one actually looks a little bit more realistic to me than the other one. If I put them side by side. Okay, so there's that one. All right. So if we compare these side by side, I believe this one on the left here looks a little bit more realistic than the one on the right. The one on the right does have a little bit of that AI look to it, where I think the one on the left could pass as a much more realistic image. Now, if you'd like to try to recreate this image by yourself, I'm going to include the exact text that I used to generate this with DALL-E in the description of this video. So feel free to copy and paste that into your favorite image generator. See what you get. If we put the original image alongside the two that I just created, you can see how easy it is to try to recreate and generate another image just like that one. Here's an example of how AI slop can be harmful without necessarily being evil or malicious. If you go to Google and you go to the image search for Google and you type in baby peacock, this is what you get. Now, the images on this page, some of them are real peacocks, but some of them are not. Some of these are AI generated images that have been mixed into real images of baby peacocks. Now, how do you know, as someone who just navigated to this page and is looking for pictures of a baby peacock, maybe you're trying to identify something, maybe you're just trying to learn, how do you know which of these are real or not? Now, some of these are pretty obvious. I think there's a few in this mix that if just looking at them, you're like, oh no, that's not a real image. That's a fake image. And this is also one of the examples of one of the links to one of the articles that I have below that I thought was a really good example just of something that where the authors of those images, they may not understand what their images are actually doing to the internet. It's a form of misinformation that isn't necessarily politically driven, right? It's a form of misinformation where somebody created an image, posted it on the internet as a baby peacock, and now the search engines have picked that up saying this is a picture of a baby peacock. Now, I realize that the internet is full of misinformation, right? It's not just this. There's misinformation everywhere across the internet. I think the point that I'm trying to make with AI Slop is right now we are seeing a huge volume, a huge insurgence of these type of images just taking over the internet, and as well as videos. So for the internet right now, it is so hard, it's so difficult to understand what is real and what is fake in an arena that already was difficult to understand what is real and what is fake. It just makes it that much harder. So to answer the question, yes, I think AI Slop is ruining the internet. And that's going to do it for today's vlog. Thank you very much for tuning in once again today. Hey, I love you all. And I'll see you tomorrow.